Hello, health coaches. This is a topic I have talked about before, but it's been a little while. In fact, I can't believe how long it's been. So I want to do a little update today and reintroduce this idea that all successful health coaches have certain things in common. And this is really worth looking at. I have seen these trends, these patterns, because I am a health coach with my own successful business, 12 years in this industry. I also have a lot of health coach friends, and I've known them for a long time, maybe over a decade. I've seen their businesses grow. I've seen their ups and downs. I've spoken with them along the way. And in addition to that, I've also mentored over 1,000 health coaches in my course, Healthy Profit University, where I get to work with coaches that are perhaps stalled at the start, right? Never quite got off the ground, and watch them bloom and soar and become profitable and do amazing things. So if you're here live as we're recording, please say hello in the comments. I can see a whole bunch of you here over on Instagram and on Facebook, and it is a pleasure to be here with you. By the way, I want to let you know that this fall's Healthy Profit University Fast Track semester, we now have the wait list open for that, and you can add your name for free, and there's no obligation, but being there means that you will get the best possible bonus package when enrollment opens in September if you decide to join us. You can add your name to the waitlist at healthcoachpower.com/waitlist. Hi, Heather. I see that Heather is here. Oh my goodness, I have to get my Facebook stream rolling over here so that I can see all the comments as they come in too. All right, so what are these patterns? What are these things that you should be aware of if you want to be a successful health coach and you're looking out there at others in the industry? I am going to tell you, I'm going to start with this one. Health coaches that are successful do the thing. They do the thing even when it is scary. And oh my gosh, it's scary a lot of the time. I think I spent the first 5 years of my business mostly being terrified, right? There's just a lot of that. So I'm going to tell you a couple stories about that. The first one that came to mind when I was thinking about this idea of doing the thing, even though it's scary. And if you're a graduate like I am from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, you may have heard this saying that says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Or maybe you've heard that other places, even if you're not a graduate from IIN. But in any case, this is that idea, being able to both hold fear in one hand and action in the other and have them coexist. Like there's a real magic in that. So I'm thinking right now of Marilyn, and Marilyn was one of our fast track members about a year or two ago. And I suggested, as I always do to our fast trackers, that they find some podcasts to get booked on. And, we walk everybody through that and how to do it. But still, I know it is very scary if you've never been a guest on a podcast to even imagine yourself suddenly being on the air, recorded. Oh my gosh, what if I stumble over my words? Or worse yet, what if I reach out to somebody and they don't want me on their podcast? And fear of rejection, fear all over the place. Well, Marilyn went out and did the thing anyway, exactly the way that I had laid it out. I said, go find podcasts that have listeners that you want to be a health coach for. You want your potential clients to be the ones listening. And so that's what she did. And she found perfect podcasts and she got herself booked, even though she was a brand new coach. Can you believe that? You can get on podcasts. People will book you as a guest, even if you're just starting out. So I never want to hear that excuse from anyone, because Marilyn and many others have proven that it is possible. Anyway, Marilyn was on some of the biggest podcasts in her niche, which is amazing. And she had clients sign with her that would drive hours back and forth to meet with her. She had clients coming to her, asking to work with her, even months, even a year after the podcast had aired. So what I'm trying to say to you is, because she was able to do that thing where you hold fear in one hand and action in the other, and you make it work, it paid off so big time for her. Here's a personal story, same idea. And again, sort of about being broadcasting on the air, but that is a total coincidence. How many years ago was this? Maybe 5 years ago, my good friends, Lisa Lutan and Andrea Beeman, approached me and they said, we want to do a live radio show. Will you be on this live radio show with us. And I was like, wow, that sounds really fun. It really appealed to me. And yet, oh my gosh, I was so afraid because I had never done live radio before. I've done plenty of, being on camera, things that were going to be edited. But at the time, I wasn't really doing that much live stuff. So that part was scary. Also, the idea of collaborating with two other people on such a big project and how to make that work, that was also scary. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the idea of feel the fear and do it anyway, is do the thing, even if you don't know how. Like, figure it out. If you can practice figuring things out, your business is going to thrive, because I can't tell you how many times I've just literally not known what I'm doing at all. And you just kind of do it anyway and figure it out as you go. Case in point, like recording these episodes to both, I'm broadcasting to both Instagram and Facebook, and we're recording it. Like, this is new. This is a new setup. And I'm never quite sure, like, should I put my camera up there? I got my other camera down here. It's new, it's different. And I don't think I'm doing it perfectly, but I'm just doing it anyway. And I'm kind of figuring it out as I go along. So thank you for being on the journey with me. But for real, like, this is how you find success. This is how you become a master of whatever it is that you do, is you don't really know how in the beginning, and you figure it out bit by bit, and you don't let that keep you from starting. You can figure everything out. And if you really can't figure something out in your business, you figure out who can help you, who can figure it out with you or for you. That's the secret. Yeah. All right. Give me a thumbs up or a like, or whatever, something, an emoji in the comments if so far you think you can do this. You can be scared, you cannot quite know how to do something, and you can still move forward. Ooh, because right there, that separates what's that saying? The wheat from the something, the cream from the milk, right? Yeah. This is what separates those who are going to go the distance from those that are going to get stuck at the starting gate, right? All right, good. I'm seeing some hearts coming in. Thank you, you guys. All right, let's move on to the second thing that I've noticed about health coaches who really do go the distance. Inside your business, there's going to be lots of different times that you think about or are asked to invest in yourself and in your business. And what I find is that, gosh, there's a lot of different ways that you can go as a health coach, right? There's a lot of different paths that we can walk on. If you can find the ones that feel good and invest your time and energy and your resources into those paths, it is worth that investment. Like, trying to do everything on your own is hard. Trying to do things that are not aligned with your values is awful. But if you can find mentors, you can find a path that really sits well with you, and you can invest yourself there, you will go farther faster. So I know when I was starting out as a coach, like all of you, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I literally don't know what I'm doing. I wake up in the morning and I try to work. I don't know if I'm getting anywhere. I was kind of all over the place. And yet at the time, there really wasn't that much help out there for health coaches. 12 years ago, it was a totally different world. So every now and then I would come across something or someone saying that they could help me with my online business, or they could, build my social media, or whatever the heck we were doing back then. I don't even remember. And a lot of times I got an icky feeling about it. I was like, I don't like this person, or I don't like the way they're talking to me, or I don't like the way that they're portraying like this idea, like I want to make all this money, greedy, greedy, greedy. It just, there's a lot of different personalities in the industry, and they weren't sitting well with me. So I went at it alone for many years without any guidance, without anybody showing me the way. My path as a health coach basically looked like this, around in circles, for many years. And I very, very slowly figured things out on my own. Going back to point number one, if you don't know what you're doing, you can move forward and figure it out anyway. In this case, that's exactly what I did. It just took a very long time. And so finally, I got a personal referral to a business coach, and I was very leery about this. I was like, I don't know. I don't really know that I want to hire a business coach because they're just going to tell me to be salesy and I have to do like weird pricing tactics and just all sorts of things that I did not want any part of. But as luck would have it, the name that I received was for this woman, Lara. And when I spoke with her, I was like, oh yeah, like this woman gets me, and it was just like a divine intervention of some kind that I was able to connect with somebody in the industry who understood what I was doing. They understood where I was coming from. They understood what my boundaries were, how I wanted to exist, as a coach. And it was such a worthwhile investment. And I said, yeah, I'm going to work with this person. To this day, and this is going back years and years and years now, to this day, I can remember very clearly a piece of advice that she gave me during one or two of our calls. And at the time, I pretty much ignored the advice, but it stuck in my head. And over the course of many years that followed, that one piece of advice has earned me hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I am forever grateful for that connection. So that's an example of knowing when I saw something, no, that's not right for me. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to get involved with selling that, brand of vitamins. Like there were lots of things I said no to. This is something I said yes to because like my gut said, yeah, like this person gets me. Totally worth it. I'm going to give you another example from someone else's business instead of just talking about mine. So Danielle was one of our Healthy Profit University members. She did Fast Track a year ago. And Danielle's a scientist, right? Like she comes to health coaching with a very keen awareness of the science behind nutrition. And she's very good at what she does, but in her own words, she has no marketing skills whatsoever. It's just really outside of her wheelhouse. Today, Danielle has a full practice. She has over 100,000 social media followers. In fact, I just looked and she's up to 119.9 thousand as of just now, which is incredible for a woman who had no idea how to put herself out there, how to have a message that people were going to resonate with, and then how to turn that attention into paying clients. But that's what we do inside of Healthy Profit University. She took it, she ran with it, and it is working. The cool thing about this was that, again, Danielle's coming to marketing like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm sure she looked at different programs and she heard different opinions on how you should go ahead and market your health coaching business. But she knew like this was the right place for her. And she tried lots of different tactics for putting herself out there. All of my HPU members do. Like I told you about Marilyn, she did really well with the podcast. Danielle did really well when she got herself on TikTok, of all things, right? And it just worked for her. The woman likes to dance. She's good on camera. What can I say, right? So you find something that works for you and double down on it. And I think that's what Danielle really did. She took the strategy, she found a tactic that really worked for her, double down on it, and it is working. So high fives all around. What about you guys? Are there things that you're coming across that you're like, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe I should join this team, or I should apply for this position, or maybe I should do this marketing strategy, right? Like things that kind of feel like maybes. Like I would encourage you to really let your gut lead you. What resonates, what aligns with your values, because that's going to get you where you want to go. Enough said on that, right? Like you can't do everything from business from your gut, but I think this is an area where you should. All right, I have one more big area to talk about, and I'm a little bit worried that it might be a little too much tough love, but you guys know I love you. You know I am coming from a place of wanting you to succeed. And I think it is so important that health coaches succeed because, gosh, just in my own personal life, recently I've been noticing, and it must just be my age, right? But I'm noticing more and more, especially like parents of my kids' friends, or just, people in my local circle here, more and more people are talking about that pre-diabetes diagnosis. More and more people are talking about that thyroid diagnosis, right? And it's like, I'm just watching it happen everywhere, going like, but I have so many health coaches for you, and I want to take each one of you that I'm connecting with, in most cases virtually, and like bring you here and introduce you to my neighbor because she needs you, and introduce you to my son's soccer coach because he needs you, right? We're needed. Like, I need you guys to succeed. I don't just, I'm not just cheering you on. Like, I really feel like it's important that all health coaches make the ripple effect that we are intending to make, because the world needs us so very much. Okay, so with that in mind, a little bit of tough love here, but successful health coaches, here's what I've noticed. You can't let life get in the way. And I hear that phrase a lot. I'll say, hey, you were doing great things in your coaching business last time we talked. How's it going? And a coach will go, well, life kind of got in the way. All right. On one hand, I totally understand. And I get it. It's been a weird year and a half with COVID. There's been a lot of life to get in a lot of ways. Yes. But I'm going to encourage you to think about professionals that you know, like friends of yours, or maybe professionals that you hire in your own life. I'm thinking about, my lawyer. I'm thinking about my accountant, my primary care physician, right? Do you ever notice anybody in a career like that being like, yeah, life kind of got in the way, haven't been working much? No, right? And this isn't to say that we should push ourselves to the nth degree like lawyers do, working around the clock, like maybe doctors are doing it. Like, I'm not saying that. We got into health coaching, many of us, because we wanted a more flexible career, right? Me too. I want to be here tomorrow when my kids get on the school bus for the first time this year, and also when they come home. However, you can't let life stop you. You have to keep your business a priority if you want the business to grow. In the course of my health coaching career, I can relate to so many of you who have things going on in your life. I have moved 7 times since starting my health coaching business. I have lived in 1, 2, 3, 4 different cities, right? It's been a lot. In that same period of time, I had 2 babies. In that same period of time, I went through an ugly divorce. I mean, life has happened. Yeah, plenty of life has happened. And maybe things slowed down a little bit in the worst part or the hardest part of each of those transitions, but they all could have been an excuse for me to walk away, or to let it drop for so many months that it was hard to come back to my coaching practice. But my business always remained a priority. And that's what I see with successful coaches. We take our businesses just as seriously as any other professional takes theirs. We don't just walk away when life happens. We show up consistently, year after year after year. And that reminds me of Rachel, who is one of our HPU members from years ago now. She was one of our early members, and Rachel had 2 little kids at home. They're older now, but they were like toddlers at the time. And she easily could have let life get in the way. How many of us, I know I was, are working as a health coach, and we're trying to work part-time, full-time, and we have little kids in the house that maybe don't even go to preschool yet, and we don't have childcare, right? Like, it's a lot to do all at once. But instead of saying, now's not the time, or, oh, my kid got sick, or, oh, now this other thing happened, right? Instead, Rachel got serious about her health coaching business. She built her income up to 5-figure months. I watched this happen. It was amazing. And I will be damned if I don't see Rachel to this day. She'd be on Instagram every day, week in, week out, for years now, talking about her online academy, enrolling clients, sharing success stories on a consistent basis. And that is the kind of work ethic that I notice among the health coaches who truly succeed. Got a couple of comments here coming in. Fox Health Coaching says, I signed for a business coaching program in January and my gut was really into it, but after a couple of months, the mentor of the program did not deliver. I lost $6,000. How do I trust again? I've done lots of different courses, trainings, I shared with you my very, very first business coach, which was a blessing. They aren't always, right? They aren't always. I can think of some things I've signed up for where I was like, and I think one way of thinking about it is like, I got taken or this person didn't deliver. But the other way of thinking about it, and trust me, I've done both. The other way of thinking about it is like, okay, what did I get from this? Or what can I take from this training? Because it's probably not going to be like 100% every single time. But I can think of a course I signed up for now, came highly recommended. And once I got into it, I was like, I was a little disappointed, when the person who's selling the course isn't really involved. Like once you get into it and you never hear from like that person again, I was like, wait, what happened? I felt like I had a little bit of a bait and switch there. That's something I will never do. But I learned from that. This is something I will never do. I will never sell a course and then not be part of the course, have other people like run the course for me. So that was actually a huge learning to be on that side and see what I did not like. And then there were parts of the course that I was like, that is very useful. That is very interesting. And actually just by putting my money, my intention towards the topic of the course, I found that my business grew, even if I didn't follow exactly what they were recommending. Even if I only got through like the first part of the course and then I went, this isn't really for me. In a way, it was still helpful. So what I'm trying to say here is you want to take what works and leave what doesn't, and try not to think of it as a total loss, because most likely it is not. Nisi's saying, wow, that's exactly where I am, kind of prolific and has made me kind of stalled. Thanks for saying that, just the kick I needed. So Nisi, are you saying like about not letting life happen and just drag you down? I know all summer long people are like, oh, like, vacations, or oh, like whatever, I'm not really like into my business right now. And then the fall comes, and it's coming, my friends. I mean, my kids go to school tomorrow for the first day, and it's like, oh shoot. Sometimes it's hard to come back when you let life get in the way. Fox Health Coaching says, thank you, great way to change my mindset. How many trainings do you think we should do? I mean, I didn't do any business trainings for the first many years of my business because A, they really just weren't available. And B, I really didn't have, like, some of the courses that are out there for health coaches are like $10,000, like you said, $6,000. These were numbers I couldn't even conceive of. So I didn't do anything in the beginning. It's slow. I wish that there had been something that was meeting me where I was. At the time, I would have been able to move more quickly. So anyway, to answer your question, I don't think that there's a number of trainings that you should do, but what I have found is when I hit like a block or I hit a plateau in my business, that's when I know that I need some help to get over that, right? So there was a point in my business where I just literally did not know, like, I didn't have a plan. I was just kind of like treading water and I didn't have a plan. That's where I was for too many years because I didn't find help with that. And it's why I designed Healthy Profit University, because I give you a plan. I give you a structure for your business, right? And then we have coaches go through it, and you might hit another point where you're like, this is all working, but, like, for example, in my business, how many years ago was this? Maybe 3 years ago, I was hitting a point in my business where I was like, I need to systematize this in a way. I needed to be able to scale. And so then I took a course that helped me do that, taught me how to put more systems into place and funnels and things that were a little bit more advanced, right? Because I had hit a plateau. So I think when you find that you're getting stuck, you want to look for a resource to help you with that. Kat saying, Michelle, are you still actively coaching? Yes, I am still actively health coaching. My health coaching practice has shrunk and gotten a little bit smaller and takes a little bit of a back seat now to what I'm doing for health coaches, but I am still an active health coach. In fact, I just enrolled, speaking of, noticing that you hit a plateau or noticing like you have a block. I was noticing in my own health coaching practice, I work with a lot of women, and I didn't intend to do this. I work with a lot of women who have chronic stress, burnout, and a lot of the symptoms that go along with that. And didn't go into it on purpose this way, but has turned out a lot of my clients have autoimmune disease. So I just enrolled to become an AIP certified coach. That's something I'm going to be doing this fall. And because that was a bit of a block for me. You know, I have all these clients with autoimmune diseases, and I know a lot about treating autoimmune disease, but this is an area that I would like to have more specialty training in. So anyway, in just PS, in my personal health coaching business, that's what's going on there. Healthful Wellness says, what's included in HPU? So with the fall fast track semester, we do a 90-day intensive together. It is super duper fun. It's kind of like this because I'm on camera and live, except the only difference is you're in the room with me. You know, we do a meeting once a week with everybody throughout the 90 days. And I lead you through the HPU curriculum where you're defining a business model, you're building an audience. I'm going to teach you how to sell to that audience. But we have so much fun together because it's like live, you know, when we have a group that does it all together, which is just, man, I missed that when I became a health coach because, you know, you're working at home and you're kind of by yourself. It has been my goal to like build community in this field for many, many years now. Anyway, if you're interested in joining us for this fall, again, the waitlist is open. If you go to healthcoachpower.com/waitlist, and you can get a little bit more information there. Whew. This was a fun episode. I think I like doing this double broadcasting thing, Facebook group, Instagram, people listening via podcast later and watching on YouTube. Thank you. We'll be back next week. And in the meantime, you can always ask questions inside of our Health Coach Power Community Facebook group. If you're not already a member, head over to healthcoachpowercommunity.com and we'll get you in there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.